Welcome to today's video. In today's video, I want to introduce you to another electric vehicle. That's a NIO ET5, that's a vehicle from China. Let's take a closer look at what makes it interesting and what's so intriguing about it. The initial aspect that is noticeable about this specific car is the color. The color is referred to as sunbath yellow, and that is also one of the distinctive colors of this car. That's also the color in which the vehicle is shown on the website. I have to say, I have been driving this car all day and I am not sure how I feel about the color. Please provide your thoughts on the color and how you perceive its suitability for everyday use, specifically if you feel the level of yellow is excessive or not. The car has a distinctive design, and that's not just because of the headlights or the shape of the headlights or the rims, but above all, it's thanks to these little horns on the roof, and there are two of them in total, one on the right and one on the left. And in these parts that we see here, there's a hidden camera in each one. The vehicle has a total of 12 cameras. One of them is above the mirror, a camera for the selfies, and the remaining 11 cameras are there to observe the surroundings around the vehicle for autonomous driving, and also as preparation for what may not be possible yet due to legal reasons, but what will come in the future. Without a doubt, those are unquestionably distinctive features, these tiny, in quotation marks, little horns, and also this swirling motion in the meter. Behind that, there's also another camera hidden, as we later find out, and another way to upgrade the vehicle so that in the future, when it comes to autonomous driving, it will be even more capable. You can easily retrofit the car without any problems. We have obtained these impressive 20-inch rims with P0 tires and an excellent Brembo braking system. It definitely looks very impressive. Big rims, big brake system, so in my opinion it looks pretty snazzy. Like I said, the vehicle has a total of 12 cameras and they're hidden all around the vehicle. We already have knowledge regarding the positioning of the cameras in the front fender from a different manufacturer. Additionally, there is also a camera concealed in the side mirror at this location. As I mentioned, there is one hidden on each side, positioned on the roof in the area referred to as the horn. And then we have an additional 2 cameras in the rear. One is positioned on top of the roof in the fin, and the other is located above the mirror. So, as I mentioned previously, the vehicle is equipped with a total of 12 cameras, which of course enables a highly extensive and comprehensive panoramic view during the act of driving. And as always, verifying the gap dimensions. At this juncture, the images convey a stronger message than words. We will commence with Frank here as well. As you can observe, the picture is highly consistent throughout. There is no disparity in offset when comparing to Frank. This applies to both bumpers and fenders, ensuring uniformity in measurements between the two. In essence, I believe there is not much else to include in this context. All in all, the automobile possesses a remarkably superior sensation of quality and exhibits a highly luxurious appearance, both externally and internally. Similar to numerous other electric vehicles, it is anticipated that there would be a Frank in the front as well. Now that we have opened the Franks, we realize that the flap can be opened, but there is not much to see inside. Well, everything is covered, you know. We have the washer fluid for the windshield up front in this location right here, easily accessible for your convenience. A panic button or an emergency shutdown feature of the vehicle. And other than that, there is not a lot to see in this area. And that is also my initial negative aspect regarding the vehicle. I would have expected a small trunk in this particular instance, similar to NIO and similar to Model 3 as well. There would most likely be enough room. I am unable to say why they did not choose to do that. You can easily open the hood from the inside or with the remote control. The entrance into the trunk is definitely quite large, and the trunk itself is also quite deep. Well, I suppose I don't have the precise measurements in liters at the moment, but it will certainly be large enough for the journey. As I mentioned, having a Frank would definitely be a huge advantage for vehicles in this class, especially since the competition offers it too. However, it is what it is. You also have the option to close the trunk lid in the usual manner using the button. Another feature that I really appreciate about the vehicle is the handles that retract in and out, just like certain premium manufacturers. We have not observed that in the Model 3, for instance, as an example. With the push of a button, they come out and the doors can be easily opened. We're already familiar with that from many other models. That's also thanks to the topic of aerodynamics. It's just a nice gimmick at that spot. As you observed upon opening, only the front door, specifically the door of the driver, was the one that opened. The passenger door or handle stayed in. That's all attitude, so you can set it up here however you want. In any case, it looks really good. To preempt the question of winter ice cover, I have no idea. We'll see it when it's covered. Please write in the comments what you think of this type of door handles. Is it practical? Is it good? Does it really save so much on aerodynamics that it's worth it? Or does it increase the complexity of the vehicle and possibly hinder access to the interior in a critical situation? The interior appears to be of a very high quality and well crafted according to my taste. As you can see, we also have contrasting colors here, and the contrasting colors, that's when Nomi joined. She felt called out by the scene. Thanks, Nomi. Not for the moment. So, as you can see, the contrasting colors in the vehicle truly make the seat contours and fabrics stand out much better. Even with this video, and I hope the video is back, it all looks very high quality. The seats were comfortable. Therefore, I have been driving it for half a day already. I am extremely satisfied. Additionally, the door inserts are made of a fabric leather combination, which is likely faux leather. Moreover, the upper part of the door has a textured surface that feels like rubber, although it is unclear what material it actually is. Definitely appears to be of very high quality, absolutely not inexpensive, and also creates a very good impression, the entire interior as a whole. From the back, you can mainly see the shape of the front seats, like some kind of bucket seats. The bucket seats in this place are definitely very comfortable, and it's easy to sit for a long time. The second row consists of 3 seats, so my estimation is 2 adults, 1 child with 2 ISOFIX attachments, and the rear seat can also be divided into 2 parts once again. By pressing a button located on the side, you have the ability to greatly enhance the size of the trunk area. The opposite side can be tilted similarly, making it essentially a split of 1/3 to 2/3. Nomi is listening to us right now and wants to contribute as well, it seems. Thanks, Nomi. The seats have the ability to be folded down in a ratio of 1/3 to 2/3, allowing for a flexible and versatile seating configuration. Back here is a button, you click on it and you possess a rather large trunk, presumably for a vacation for 2, or you can also make use of it in this location. It is undoubtedly sufficient. Or if you desire to move and need to transport furniture, then you certainly have more than enough space at your disposal. Whether the car is the ideal vehicle for that is up to each person. So right here I want to show you the primary control element of NIO. The setup is similar to that of a particular American manufacturer, which we are already familiar with and have knowledge of. A large screen positioned in the center, but the corresponding model does not have the secondary screen that is hidden or concealed behind the steering wheel. So at that place we have 2 screens at NIO 2. Now let's initially delve into the big one. The large screen has a similar layout. It is clear, transparent, and somewhat intuitive in its design and functionality. We have the home function here. This is the screen we are currently on, so you can see the navigation module accordingly. We see below the consumption values and accordingly the music display. We're going down here, clicking on the car, and entering the car settings area, where we start with My Account, so you have to log in here. That's a must for a proper vehicle. Of course, I didn't sign up for it, and exactly then Mine NIO, so another setting that you can make. Then the vehicle can also take a close look at how it looks at that point. You can also view the values present in the rides. Air pressure values are also included. Door settings, lighting, and ambient lighting are also visible. Any colors in various modules such as main, secondary, or floor. Therefore, you select the color accordingly. If you make adjustments, you will see that the color can also change there, just like in the secondary area. So this is the color that undergoes changes here in the door area. You can clearly see that happening right here. And yes, it is then situated in the crawl space in the floor. Position settings are available. You also have the option to make adjustments to the driver's position. For everyone else, it serves as a position of relaxation, allowing you to fully recline the seat and comfortably lie down in it. This provides a convenient position for getting out of the seat when needed. That means I tried it out here so that the seat, for example, moves back a bit and the handlebars go up a bit so that getting in and out at that spot is simply more comfortable. We possess the characteristics necessary for interior comfort, driving assistance systems, and dynamism. Dynami is something that, in my belief, only NIO possesses in the manner we have observed it thus far up to this point in time. Up there sits Nomi, and you can also have a very nice chat with her, and they say, "Hey Nomi,
Certainly, kindly oblige my humble request, please."
please roll down the car windows."
Agreed.
And typically at this juncture, Nomi generally rolls down the windows. Now she simply opened the window a little on my side.
Hi, Nomi. Hey, kindly open all windows. Your cooperation is highly appreciated. Thank you in advance.
Alrighty then.
That worked brilliantly. All the windows roll down, and that's how we can say, "Hey Nomi."
Greetings. Kindly close all of the windows. Okay then. Thank you for your cooperation. Have a great day ahead.
All of the windows will be closed. Yeah, in addition to that, we also have vehicle settings. Specifically, we had the option to adjust the air conditioning or ventilation settings in the vehicle. At this juncture, we additionally possess the choice, or we possess the opportunity to indicate the number of degrees, and also whether we desire to synchronize it with the passenger or not. I would certainly display that, so it appears highly comparable to some other vehicle I have observed previously, and you can adjust the airflow here by separating your fingers apart or bringing them close together. We already have information at this location. That does not imply it is favorable or unfavorable. Now, without rating, this is a fact. We've seen this functionality elsewhere before, and that is basically all. In this location, we can see the ventilation or the heater of the windshield. Here we have the opportunity to choose from a variety of apps, and the setting, which is the last button, allows us to adjust the speaker settings specifically for the radio or with other streaming services that are integrated within this platform. The smaller screen occasionally shows redundant information, such as the time or the interior temperature, but it also presents an additional display that is not immediately visible on the larger screen or after making adjustments, which indicates the current level of the battery in the device. So at this point we can see how many percent we have and how many kilometers we can still drive. It will be displayed in the left corner, and on the right side we also see the display of the consumption values, or rather the current consumption value and the estimated range of the vehicle. Now we want to retest Nomi once more to determine if she responds to all voices or the extent of her voice recognition capabilities. Currently positioned next to me is my daughter, who has a strong desire to express something to Nomi.
Hello, Nomi. Hey, what's going on? Please gather all the prisoners and bring them together. We need to round them up quickly. Say it again, please. I'm all ears. Round up all the prisoners. Alrighty then. Yes, the functionality of it is outstanding. It works exceptionally well and meets all expectations. Thanks a lot, Nomi.
What I definitely like about this car is the Nomi. The Nomi gives the car a face, and that's really nice. In retirement, she always looks like that, and when you talk to her, "Hey Nomi," then she consistently directs her attention towards someone. Thanks a lot, Nomi.
Yeah, and she is consistently in this kind of standby mode, always ready to promptly respond to commands. You just have to,
"Hey," and then address their name. The interesting thing is, she turns towards the respective seat where the person is sitting who is currently addressing her. So, like, if you talk to her from the passenger seat, she'll turn towards you. When you talk to her from the driver's seat, she turns to the driver. If you talk to her from the back seats from other vehicles, she knows it too. And accordingly, she also looks at the people there in quotation marks and engage in dialogue with them. So like, definitely it's a super cool idea to give a vehicle a face and also a name.
so like that somehow makes the car much more likable. Could you please also provide your thoughts and opinions on it?
What is your opinion? Would you like to have that in your car as well, or do you find it bothersome?
I'm curious about that. What I don't like so much about the car is the view in the rearview mirror.
So, when you gaze in the rearview mirror, you observe a relatively small rear windshield, and accordingly, the view to the back is restricted and limited in scope.
Which brings me to the next point. Something I did not find here and miss, and something I would wish for, is the ability to look back, similar to what Tesla offers. Perhaps I simply haven't discovered it yet, but it is a feature I truly desire.
However, that is also one of the upcoming areas that require improvement with the vehicle and will be focused on for further enhancements. Although the menu navigation at this stage is structured in a similar way to that of other vehicles from different manufacturers, it is still not completely intuitive, and what I couldn't find, as I mentioned, is the choice to activate the cameras for using them as a rear view mirror or as side mirrors for the right and left, as well as for the blind spot. I would wish for that in this situation because the hardware in the vehicle is already installed, everything is there, it would just be a pure software thing. Another feature of the vehicle that I really liked again is the 3D view. Usually, when you drive backwards, you have this view here, which is basically set as the default. But if you click down here on 3D, you will get this 3D view, so you can see exactly where the vehicle is right now, what is in front of it or behind it. Well, I mean, that is a nice gimmick and particularly advantageous when parking in tight spots. It is definitely very helpful and provides great convenience. And at this moment, we are finally off. Moving on to the driving impressions of the car, let us take it for a spin now, and I have to say, this car feels incredibly dynamic and full of energy. The acceleration is really good. We have here 4 seconds, you can't forget that either. 4 seconds is a relative value. Always compare to what a Tesla Model 3 has in that spot. Set it to 3.3 seconds for accurate comparison. What does a Pole have that we have already driven? That takes 4.2 seconds. 4.5 seconds. Definitely 4 seconds is extremely impressive. We must not forget that we are operating in the domain of nearly super sports vehicles from approximately 5 or 10 years in the past. There were times when even 911S were at 5 seconds. That was a few years ago, but nonetheless, that means we're discussing an extremely good acceleration. That is certainly sufficient to be the first one to start at the traffic light. There are only a few cars that can keep up with that. The car makes a very dynamic impression, it's good and well tuned. It does not possess any curves or similar features of that nature. The steering also provides a highly responsive and agile feel. I had the feeling, and this is perhaps just my purely subjective feeling in the mode I was driving, that when you press the gas, there is no electric gas pedal. There is a slight delay in the response time of the acceleration, which could be attributed to the absence of an electric gas pedal. Else, car responds instantly like in any EV, but maybe it's in setup. I'm driving now. Is that the case? Otherwise, the car responds immediately, just like in any electric car, the torque comes first. Available almost fully from the first second, and the car takes off. When merging onto the highway or onto a freeway, the car definitely unleashes its full power and accelerates rapidly. You simply tap on the gas pedal and it moves forward. It is a genuinely enjoyable driving experience. The clicking sound you hear in the background is a form of assistance system present in the vehicle. There are numerous assistance systems available here that you can adjust according to your preferences and needs. From lane assist to, I have no clue, undoubtedly the 2 full screens that were displayed earlier with all the settings and options. And probably I still haven't set some small thing completely right. What I've also tried is that the autopilot, and this is exactly it, this is the precise configuration I have implemented. Yeah, the autopilot turned on, and now we are driving for a few seconds with nearly no hands on the wheel, but that was not long enough, like 2 to 3 seconds. Definitely feels like it holds the line extremely well. The main unique selling point of this vehicle or this manufacturer compared to the others is the battery, so the handling of the battery. We will do that later. That means when you purchase the vehicle, you have 2 choices. You have the option to purchase the battery or rent it. The reason for choosing to rent is that there is an exchange station available and there are plans to establish additional stations in the future, where you no longer wait for the battery to be charged. We have superchargers, you can of course do it as well, but at these stations you drive in and within a few minutes the battery in the vehicle is replaced with a fully charged one. And that's something of course none of the other brands had so far, this option. From my point of view, there are also several advantages, and one of them is that once this network is expanded to a certain extent, currently there are 3 stations nationwide and soon there will be more added. If we had a network of exchange stations for this vehicle, similar to the network of superchargers currently in place, then there would be no problem at all, and one wouldn't lose much time when driving long distances or in general, which would be highly beneficial. You enter and they informed me, maybe we'll hear later, that the process of replacing a battery typically takes about 5 minutes. And that's also the reason why you rent the battery in this case, because if it's owned by the vehicle owner, then you probably can't replace it. It's somehow connected to that. And the other advantage of these exchange batteries is that if you rent the battery and they are constantly in circulation, then of course when the technologies also renew themselves, the battery is also renewed again and again. That was also the statement from Mr. von Mio, we will hear later as well, that the vehicle can remain technologically up to date for an extended period of time. I believe you're indicating that the vehicle will require a maximum of 5 years to become technologically obsolete because of the renewable batteries and the potential for retrofitting the vehicle with new technology, specifically related to the autonomous driving feature, if it continues to advance. This is due to the positioning of the batteries on the roof, which allows for easy integration of updated technology when necessary. There would also be the space and everything necessary for it. And now let's listen to the interview or conversation with the colleague from Neon magazine. Hey everyone, I'm Robin Gross.
From Neon, in charge of Hanover. Now I'll show you our ET5. Stay tuned for the demonstration. Here we see him now in the limousine version. Coming soon, also available as a touring model. Starting in Oct, it'll sell here at our Hanover location, and of course everywhere else too. Yes, hey all of you. We are all sitting here in the car at this moment, on our way and beginning to accumulate our first miles as we embark on this journey together. So let's have a conversation about the various features of the vehicle that I can utilize while operating it on the road during my driving sessions. So we've installed 12 cameras, of course, for driving as well.
I'm inside 12.
No, overall. In the interior we have one here, but it is actually meant for taking selfies. So if I tell Nomi about the whole thing, do we want to demonstrate it once? Yeah? Hey Nomi.
Nomi is sleeping.
Hello there Nomi, how are you?
Take a selfie of us.
Hi.
Okay, can we get the photo out somehow?
Yes, certainly, we will definitely figure it out. Speaking of Nomi, I have the capability to share with her a multitude of information on various subjects and topics. I can give her all kinds of info about the vehicle. Of course, the reason for this is that we now also have to include a new feature based on EU law. That's the distraction assistant. That means if I'm, for example, using my phone while driving or constantly looking at my passenger, the car will tell me, please focus. And with features like we have with the Nomi, I can bypass stuff like that.
Nomi is very nice and she always blinks so beautifully.
Exactly, it also has a bunch of other animations. So when you listen to music, sometimes it's also playing on the record or wearing sunglasses and a chain on top. So basically all kinds of animations. You'll see all of that during the ride though. I have got an additional example to share with you. Hello Nomi. Hello Nomi, how are you doing? Upper. Therapeutic massage targeting the back area.
That was definitely a case of demo effect.
That was the classic example of the Murphy's Law phenomenon. Hello Nomi.
Get me a massage, could you?
Kindly reiterate, I desire a massage if you would be so kind. It is of no consequence. May I request a massage, please? No problem. Oh, precisely. Well, you always have to kind of figure out how to give the commands in this place. I think you have to be more internet savvy.
Become savvier?
And I was possibly a little bit impolite, and she didn't take it well. Sufficiently joking around. So, everything I say here, she'll actually put into action. I can also say, for example, open the windows to 10%, to 15%, to 20%. Anything and everything.
Hey, Nomi,
Yes, what is currently happening?
please close my window. My window is open right now. She apparently did something, but what exactly? So one more time.
Hey, Nomi, would you kindly close my window? She has not responded to my request yet. Thank you for your assistance. You always have to wait and see until she says something about it. Hey, Nomi, could you please close my window for me? I would really appreciate it if you could. Thank you. Now she has thought about it. I really took advantage of the demonstration effect. Hey, Nomi, hey, Nomi, hey there, hey there, hey there, hey there, hey there, hey there, hey there. Shut all windows down. Gotcha.
I guess those were use cases.
I should have made it clear to close all of the windows, or maybe I should have emphasized, when uncertain, opt for Nomi. Let's attempt it in a different manner. Hello there, Nomi. Hello there. Could you please open the window on the driver's side? Alrighty then. Thank you so much. It also relies to some extent on the manner in which the command is provided.
By the way, the massage is still ongoing and it is focused on the upper back area of the body.
At this stage, the upper part of it feels sturdy. You have various modes available to choose from as well. You possess a single chain, you have massage for the waist and upper back, which is dynamic and provides relaxation and relief. Did I omit something? I do not think so. That should be the complete list. Furthermore, one comfort feature that I personally find extremely enjoyable is the seat ventilation system. She is coming through the perforated seats. Those are the extra details that come with the comfort package.
How many packages are there in total then?
For this vehicle, there is only the comfort package available as an option in package form, 1,500 euros with e-design.
Basic setup, add more, expand on top of it.
Just press the comfort PKE.
Exactly. In any other case, your only option is to choose the trailer hitch exclusively at this particular location.
Nomi mate, that would be Nomi as it is here. And you have the option to select either 19-inch or 20-inch rims. You can also choose the interior and exterior color, as well as the battery capacity. At ET5, we have an advantage in this segment that no other manufacturer currently offers, as we also offer a 100 kWh battery. So, that means it'll last for about 700 kilometers, right? No, 700 kilometers is a bit much.
Regrettably, we are unable to do that. I mean, speaking realistically.
I'm always a fan of sticking to the realistic values that I personally experience and can actually achieve, not according to WLTP. In real life, depending on how you drive and your driving habits, you can definitely obtain a distance of 450 kilometers from it. We're at 570, and what's the deal with the charging system?
We have already discussed how you can charge the batteries. However, if the batteries are not yet as easily accessible or as advanced as the superchargers from the other manufacturer.
How do I charge the vehicle in everyday life? Of course, we can also charge this vehicle conventionally, both AC and DC. At 75, it's 140. At 100, it's 130. Might sound a bit low compared to other manufacturers who claim more. However, I have to mention that our vehicles truly hold the curve exceptionally well for a long period of time. The charging curve doesn't flatten out as quickly. Exactly. And I actually had the situation where I was standing next to other manufacturers' vehicles at the charging station, chatting and being annoyed at the same time. And in the end, it didn't make much of a difference, even though the other one had a significantly higher peak charging power. Well, I would say the curve starts to flatten around 72, 73%, you know what I mean? And you have been doing that for quite a while now? Well, of course, we have the opportunity once. And then we, as NIO, have a distinctive USP, giving us an edge over all other manufacturers in the market. that we have patented the battery technology. That means we have what we call power swap stations. That is already highly advanced in terms of infrastructure in the country of China, surpassing many other nations in this regard. That gets used a whole lot, like a whole lot. In Europe, we got to make some progress first, since we haven't been in the market for very long. We've been in Germany since October, last year in October. That naturally takes a little while, until the manpower is in place in the background, until the infrastructure is set up, the necessary approvals.
What is the current number of power swap stations?
So we are present at this moment. It is the 20th day of July in the current year. As of today, we have 3 power swap stations in Germany. A total of 3 additional establishments are scheduled to open in the upcoming weeks. One of them is set to open next Thursday at our location in Waddell. The objective is to equip the junction points with power swap stations, thereby providing you with the opportunity to significantly reduce the charging time on land routes to a minimum, so to speak, thereby enhancing efficiency and optimizing the overall charging experience. So, we've planned to have 20 units in Germany by the end of the year that will be accessible to the public. If we anticipate by 2025 there will be 100 units in Germany,
100 pieces globally, nationwide in Germany?
and then it's true that I can travel across Germany, not just across Germany, I can travel across Europe without stopping to charge.
And how is that? Are there enough batteries for everyone? So not that I arrive and it's like, from my side, just the opposite.
The last battery was snatched, so the system is actually really smart. Well, you're saying that you're making yourself a route now. So let's say you're driving from Hanover to Munich, as an example. So, and then you can check along the way where your power swap station is and kind of give them a heads up on your way. If there is not a fully charged battery at this very moment, will this battery be fully charged by the time you arrive at your destination? A total of 14 batteries are currently present in this power swap station, and each individual battery is being charged slowly with a power output of 40 kilowatts. But if it happens that you're on the road and things get a little tight, our power swap station has the ability to increase the charging power to 80 kilowatts, but only if it...
In other words, the power swap stations communicate with all vehicles on the road, acquiring knowledge of their needs at any given time.
Is there or will there be? They do not actively communicate with every vehicle on the road, only when I announce myself to ensure accurate and timely communication.
Understood. So, if I'm using GPS to find a route from Hanover to Munich, it'll mention the relevant power stop stations along the way.
Exactly.
A question about the trailer hitch?
So now we have a trailer load of 1,400 kilograms with the ET5. With the other 2 models, ET7 and EL7, we actually have a towing capacity of 2,000 kilograms. That is actually quite a large amount for an electric vehicle. I recall a time when hybrid cars may have only been equipped with a trailer hitch for bicycles. That's all we could do for now. Well, a lot has happened technically in the meantime. But to come back to the topic of power swap, I've got a few important tidbits of information for you, of course. And here's the thing. If you go to the NIO homepage right now and you configure yourself an ET5, it's like this, that this vehicle has a price listed as 47,500 euros. The battery is not included in the price, however. Allow me to explain the details of the deal. In Germany, we have what is known as property rights. This means I am not able to drive to a power swap station and exchange my property against another's property, not legally feasible.
So, that's why the battery remains the property of NIO.
Yes and no. You have the choice to make a purchase of the battery if you so desire, or opt not to if you prefer. 20k euro for 75 kWs, 21k euro for 100 kW. But we recommend doing the whole thing through renting. We call that battery as a service. Then you have a monthly installment for it, so you're basically just offering the battery. But you also have your advantages. First point, you can swap. Point 2 is, you'll have the chance to downsize and upgrade your battery capacity through the power swap station. So you now have a 75 kilowatts battery. If you want to drive another distance now, you go to the power swap station and get your 100
For that I'll need to pay more.
subscription expands as expected.
And then I can return to my initial requirement?
Exactly. I'm sorry, but I can't tell you right now how exactly it will be handled.
Oh, fine.
Because currently we don't have the possibility in Germany, but it will arrive.
But the idea is that you say, I rent exactly the battery that I need for my current needs right now. When I go on vacation, I acquire a larger one, but when I am in the city, I presently have a smaller one. And that's how I save costs. And what about the advancements in battery technology? We have already discussed his installation of solid-state batteries in the past. Therefore, if I rent the battery with a capacity of 75 kilowatts and a new technology emerges that potentially introduces a superior battery to the market, then I would receive that automatically, correct?
That is the beauty of NIO. You are buying a car today that will still be up to date in 5 years. That is once a background with our sensor, which I mentioned earlier, that can be updated and is well prepared for the future that lies ahead of us. Also with our batteries, the next advantage of our power swap station and battery as a service, which is basically battery rental, might sound negative initially for many people. Many people say I have to buy the car and then rent a battery.
Why?
Yeah, exactly for that reason, because we can also take advantage of the technological progress through it.
You're always updated.
You are up to date, and now we are taking it one step further. I just mentioned our charging power earlier. Our charging speed will eventually improve too. I can't give you an exact number right now, but you'll also get that kind of information from the power swap station. That's a big advantage we have because of it. My position at present, okay, we have 3 pieces. That is not widespread presently, obviously. You have to initiate the process from a certain point.
And with us, it's moving forward step by step. We're on it.
It will be around 20 by the end of the year, which is quite a bit more compared to 3 years ago. And we are truly working behind the scenes at full throttle to ensure that we have some of those in the future times to come. And that's obviously something that appeals to people saying, hey, electric cars are nice and all, but I don't feel like standing somewhere and waiting for half an hour to charge. Personally, I don't have a problem with it. I've gotten used to it through e-mobility, and I also find it sometimes slows things down, that you take a break and really just stand there for like 20, you don't have to stand there for half an hour, maybe 20 minutes and have a coffee, whatever. But despite everything, we still benefit greatly from it. And when comparing to the supercharger, which takes 20 minutes, we're 4 times faster with it.
I am extremely grateful to you. Thank you very much for your kindness.
We've come up with something else for next time, but that's going to be a surprise.
We are going to get some food later. And that's it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in today. I hope to see you again in the next videos. Please comment if you have more questions or requests, or if there's a specific vehicle you're interested in. I'll try to get it somehow.
Otherwise, we'll see you in an upcoming video. See you soon.